3, 2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Hello everyone, it's Thursday the 22nd of December. It's National Short Person Day. Yes, Rishi, we're looking at you. And a very happy birthday to Ray Fiennes, Noel Edmonds, Megan Trainor and Joshua Bassett. Wednesday saw Britain face its biggest ambulance strike in over 30 years, with more than 25,000 workers across England and Wales taking part in a coordinated walkout over pay and working conditions. Emergency cover was provided for life-threatening Category 1 calls, but members of the public were urged to avoid risky activity and make their own way to hospital where possible. The ambulance strike came just a day after thousands of nurses staged their second walkout of the month, and Health Secretary Steve Barclay has been critical of the timing of the action.
So the system is facing very significant pressures, and it's at this time that trade unions have not only chosen to strike, but have refused to put in place national exemptions to say they will cover all of the life-threatening and emergency Cat 1, Cat 2 calls.
But Unite the Union boss Sharon Graham says this couldn't be further from the truth. She's blaming the government.
Look, every time the Health Secretary speaks, I've got my head in my hands. I have never seen such an abdication of leadership than I have from Rishi Sunak and the Health Secretary.
Ukrainian President Zelenskyy headed to Washington on Wednesday for his first overseas trip since the Russian invasion. He met with US President Biden, who said the US will stand side by side with Ukraine for as long as it takes, and confirmed almost $2 billion more in military aid. That includes a Patriot missile battery, the most advanced ground-to-air missile system provided to Ukraine by the West so far. President Zelenskyy expressed his gratitude to the American people as he sat alongside his US counterpart in the Oval Office.
Thanks from our just ordinary people to your ordinary people, Americans. I really appreciate.
He then made an historic address to both houses of Congress and presented Vice President Kamala Harris and Speaker Nancy Pelosi with a Ukrainian flag from frontline soldiers in Bakhmut.
This flag is a symbol of our victory in this war. We stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
Meanwhile, Russia appears to be gearing up for an extended campaign in Ukraine as it prepares to vastly increase its military spending over the next couple of years. According to President Putin, there's no shortage of cash.
We have no restrictions on finance. The country and the government will give everything that the army asks for. Everything. I hope that the corresponding results will be achieved.
Those were the heartbreaking cries of female university students in Afghanistan who were sent home following the Taliban government's decision to suspend women from accessing further education. On Wednesday morning, some students found themselves blocked from entering university by armed guards, while others gathered to protest the ban. It's all part of a crackdown on women's rights since the Taliban regained control of Afghanistan 16 months ago, with most women already barred from attending secondary school or travelling long distances without a male chaperone. UN spokesperson Stefan Dujarric says it's the latest in a series of broken promises from the Taliban, who'd initially pledged to protect women's rights.
It's clearly another broken promise from the Taliban. It's another very troubling move, and it's difficult to imagine how a country can develop without the active participation of women.
Following a lengthy legal battle by the Democrats to obtain them, Donald Trump's tax returns are set to be made public. The US House Means and Ways Committee voted to publish 6 years' worth of the former president's returns, spanning from the time he announced his candidacy in 2015 through to the end of his term in the White House. The committee also found the Internal Revenue Service failed to conduct mandatory audits on Trump's taxes for the first 2 years of his presidency. Congressman Brendan Boyle, who sits on the committee, says it's an alarming discovery.
The IRS was not doing its job. Now, why weren't they auditing the returns of President Trump for 2 full years? Why did they only start literally the day that our committee's chairman sent the letter requesting this information in April 2019? That is very suspicious.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Dionne Warwick is spilling the tea on her Twitter crush, and the BBC crowns its Sports Personality of the Year.
Right after this. Welcome back.
The BBC Sports Personality of the Year is Beth Mead. The Arsenal and England forward starred as the Lionesses won in the European Championship on home soil. She's the first women's footballer to win the award and capped off a trio of titles for the Lionesses, who also claimed Coach of the Year and Team of the Year. Meanwhile, 3 more Carabao Cup quarter-final spots were decided on Wednesday night. Nottingham Forest spanked Blackburn 4-1, Charlton beat Brighton on penalties, and Manchester United took on Championship leaders Burnley. United won 2-0 to lock down their spot in the last 8 with a lovely Marcus Rashford goal in the second half.
Flying forward here, and he's got support as well. Rashford might go alone. Yes, he does. That is an excellent goal from Marcus Rashford to double Manchester United's advantage.
A new queen of Twitter has been crowned. Soul legend Dionne Warwick sat down with Jennifer Hudson earlier this week to talk about her recent tweet to Pete Davidson. He's best known as the official rebound for stars like Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian, and he's currently rumoured to be dating model Emily Ratajkowski. Dionne decided she'd better shoot her shot with a tweet announcing she'll be dating the comedian next, and J Hud quizzed the 82-year-old on her love for the social media site.
I love it. I do. I have a ball. You know, I've gotten to the point where I'm meeting some very interesting people.
Pete Davidson, what you say about him?
Yeah, I figure you're dating everybody else, why not me?
HBO have just dropped the trailer for The Last of Us, a mini-series based on the monster hit 2013 video game. Featuring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, the series follows Joel, a smuggler tasked with escorting teenage Ellie out of a quarantine zone and across post-apocalyptic USA. It's set to premiere on Sky Atlantic in January for UK viewers, and for all you gamers out there, it doesn't look like one to be missed.
There's always something bad out there. Infected, raiders, clickers.
After all we've been through, there's no halfway with this. We have a job to do. We finish what we started.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.